So here we go. This is my do-it-yourself Glovebox, and it's coming up quite nicely now to be complete. It's 50 deep, 80 wide, 50 high, and well, let's just go through the different items we have. Obviously you have two gloves, long sleeve gloves. Required, of course, otherwise it would not be a glove box. There is an airlock on the back side. It's made out of, you know, plastic food boxes, bought cheaply, and it works just fine. And they're actually quite tight, and the seal is really good, so it's holding up nicely. Let's see what we have. Having a glove box, you want to be able to put in some inert gas, maybe vacuum, flush out whatever you have, and have some vacuum in there before you put in the nitrogen. And when you have nitrogen, you might want to vent the box at some point in time as well. So to fix that, I have this vacuum pump sitting close by. I have nitrogen tubes, only one in use obviously, and they are through hoses going up to these two valves where I can then let in the gas or have some vacuum there. A pressure gauge and a ditto for the vacuum. Those two are still a bit in design phase, but this works fine at this moment. At any rate, the venting is done simply by having this valve here with a hose going outside. Right, the box is made out of what is called macrolon, which is plexiglass kind of material. It's 10 millimeter thick. Sorry. What else can we tell you about this? You need to have a dry environment in there, and right now I'm having this meter here for determining the humidity. Now I have had this box open just now a little while ago, so we have quite a high level of humidity in there. Also, I have applied sealants around the top of the box, and there are moisture in that needs to go away as well. So right now it's kind of high, so I will not do any work in this situation. But let's then look what we have inside. Doing our work. Oh, let's see. Obviously we need to have some compounds that is LENR related, and I have like 3 cans there with LAH, that's lithium aluminum hydride. I have then no less than 5 different variants of nickel powder of different size and form that I will quite enjoy to try out over the coming weeks and months. And so basically what I do is I just get my stainless steel core tubes. I take them in via the airlock, and I put the tube here with this grappler. Very do-it-yourself, I think. what else to tell you? Yeah, well, obviously you need to have a scale to measure the weigh in things. Let me see if I can pull this thing away so you can see. Scale with a precision down to, well, of about a milligram, meaning that I can measure up the quantities that is at least currently used in the community when we do these reproductions efforts. Obviously, when you have this material, the LEH, you need a spatula, and I have that in that little glass over there. It's plastic. Actually, it's glued to the bottom plate, so it cannot fall. Also, I will be able to mix my powders. Right now, the name of that thing is eluding me, what it's called in English, but obviously I can grind and blend my powder in that thing using the pistol, the stick over there, the white one. What else to tell you about these things? Yeah, you need to have a funnel. I don't think you can see it quite here in this light, but a funnel, and this core tube is quite narrow, I will say, and so that funnel is a bit going on. It has a lock on the outside of the tube, making the excitement a bit more when you fill in the powder. So at any rate, I have what I need for this. I have the nickel, the LEH. I have means to blend and grind. I have the means to use a funnel to put it into a stainless steel tube that is held by this one, and I have a screwdriver over there because I employ an open-ended tube on both ends, and I have two screws going in. Obviously, the first screws are already in there when I put it into this glove box, but you have to, after you put in the fuel, you have to screw in the screw. So I have basically everything I need just to do that kind of work in here. So there it is, and with that said, I'm getting really close now to be able to do runs with active cores. Oh, I think I talked about the humidity, right? I did. Quite high in here. So what do I do about it to take it away? Well, I have bentonite here on these plates down here, aluminum plates, and also some hydration crystals. I think they're silicone based. And that is to drive down the humidity to reasonable levels. My target is 20%, but I doubt that my instrument will be able to actually read that far down. So whenever that thing is going down to 45, I think I will be good enough to start. That is what I used when I tried this before, but at least, and that worked out fine. Alright, so there it is. Do-it-yourself Glovebox for LENR work. Goodbye. So while in this video mode and doing videos, why don't I just show you my setup as well. All experiments takes place in this chamber that I've set up. It's gypsum around, just in case anything would blow up in here, to protect whatever is around and any person that might be standing there. I have plexiglass on this side, protecting, well, then the place where I sit when I do my experiments. So, and like you can see, I have a fire extinguisher. I have two of them actually. Talking about safety, obviously, you need to, whenever you go in here, you must use this one, protecting your face, just in case it will blow up. And you don't want to have pieces of ceramics blown up in your face with a temperature of maybe 1,000 degrees. And better that it sticks on that plastic visor. At any rate, here we go. We have the Voltcraft Pyro IR temperature gun aiming at the reactor over here. There is the Geiger counter. Yeah, can we get that? So, yep. And here down here we have a data logger for 4 thermocouplers. And that is just a USB hub over there, just to connect things over here a bit. So over to the reactor. It's like I have had a few different models. This is one model where I have the end cap is pre-sealed, so to speak. So I don't have an end plug, no swag lock sitting there with an end plug. And I will keep that mode, or keep that type of reactor for a while now, because we're struggling with having the pressure contained while doing my runs. So, at any rate, power feed coming from down here, like so. And there is a coil under that outer layer of aluminum. It's 0.7 millimeter Cantal A1, having a resistance of 15 plus something ohms, 15 ohms, let's say that. And here we have our transducer, the pressure probe. It's a GEMS, 0 to 16 bars range. It's capable of handling double blood pressure without having any malfunction, but it will give me data up to 16 bars. So in this configuration, at least, I can say that I have 2 K-type thermocouplers that are capable to go to 1200 degrees. I have them on the outside of that aluminum that is protecting the coil. And you might wonder, why do you have 2? Because, well, that's a good question. I want to record the temperature, but I also have a very cheap PID regulator that also needs to have that information. So I regulate from this outer temperature. I also have this right now maybe oddly placed TC that is capable of 1435 degrees, which the intent, like you might imagine when you see it, is that it should sit on the end side here, with the swag lock here, and the thermocoupler wire extending in a bit into the core to measure the temperature. That, of course, would be the way of operation when I have that kind of reactor. Right now I'm just measuring the temperature of the coil itself. So, just to mention, I do measure the temperature around the pressure probe as well, just to have some kind of inkling about what's going on there, so I don't heat it up too much. Okay, another wire is going someplace, most going to the data logger. Obviously I have one measuring the ambient. This is also one of those 1200C K-type probes. Measuring the ambient. So a multitude of temperature measurements, no less than 5 different temperatures of register. So let's go over here. So I have these quite cheap UT61D multimeters but they are capable of interfacing via USB, and the statement is that they are RMS instruments. You might always debate that, and there might always be experts that say that this is no way near anything close enough to RMS measurements and whatnot. I don't really care. These were inexpensive and very easy to connect, and it's a joy to work with. So I use them. I use them for voltage, current. That is the feed to the coil in the reactor. I have a measurement of the signal going to the SSR. The SSR is over here, and that is controlling then the power to the reactor. So I measure the out signal to the SSR, giving me a hint. Also, I mean, it's like you know, collateral information that might be good to have when puzzling things together and trying to understand what you really did measure. So I can measure it, thus I measure it. And then we have the pressure measurements coming here. Basically, I have this power supply here feeding current to the GEMS pressure transducer over there. And on the return, I measure the current. And the interval is between 4 and 20 milliamps, and well, scaled linearly, that is the value you have for the pressure then. So and that pretty much covers it. I can show you my transformator. There's nothing special about that. It's a go in there. It's capable of giving me a fine split in the voltage, fine resolution in the voltage seek. So it's a nice piece, I would say. Okay, that pretty much concludes my laboratory environment when I make my experiments on these reactors. So bye bye.